Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Reactive Horsemanship. I'm Luke Brown. I'm excited to be with you here today on Training Tip Tuesday. The horse that's behind me that I'm working with this morning, this is Joker. Joker is a 4-year-old quarter horse, registered quarter horse that came to me, to be started. And honestly, Joker has been one of the more challenging horses I've had in a while. He just can be real reactive to pressure and overreact and blow up and spook and buck. He bucked quite a bit the first couple times I saddled him, and I tried to prepare him really well to be saddled, and yet he still bucked quite a bit. So and then from there, just every little thing, every new thing that I teach him, he can be overreactive and get real defensive about it. And so he's been a horse that's been real challenging for me, and I enjoy a challenge. But it can feel a little frustrating when I've gone 6 weeks of training with him and I still haven't ridden him. But I want to make sure that I prepare him well for that ride, because I want the ride to go well. And it's not a guarantee that it's going to go well, but I can get pretty close to guaranteeing it's going to go well by teaching him to handle pressure on the ground and handle all my cues on the ground. So a lot of what I do at Reactive Horsemanship, basically all I do is sensitizing and desensitizing. I teach them to move and bend and respond to my cues, and I also teach them to relax, and that's the desensitizing part. And so as you can see back here, if you can see, hopefully, I've got a plastic sheet that I'm dragging. So I'll start with a stick and string, and I move to a flag and a plastic sheet, and then I also do a plastic sheet with a rope, and I drag that on the ground and teach him to be fine with it, to relax to the sheet dragging along the ground. It could be a tarp too, but I use a sheet for a specific reason, a 4.5 mil sheet. At any rate, I want him to be able to tolerate that, dragging that on the ground, both on his near side and his off side, so that I can feel a lot more comfortable when I get on him that he's not going to overreact and do something that will cause a wreck. And so today for Training Tip Tuesday, I want to talk a little bit about pressure and how important pressure is when it comes to training horses and having your own horse. Pressure, there's some people that have the belief out there that pressure should be avoided at all costs. We want to try to not upset our horse and not give them a pressure that will cause them to be upset. Now, while I do agree that you want to build that pressure slowly and build their confidence, and I disagree that you shouldn't put pressure on a horse. I think eventually horses are going to experience some kind of situation where they're in high pressure and they're going to overreact and do something that's going to be dangerous to you or to them. So in training, and if you have a horse, you want to teach your horse to handle that high pressure. If you don't, you're going to be in trouble. And so build your pressure slowly and build their confidence slowly. And like with Joker here, it's taken 6 weeks to get to the point where I'm almost ready to ride him. And that's very uncommon. Actually, up to this point in the last 5 years, the longest it took me to get on a horse is 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks. So I'm at 6 weeks now and still haven't gotten on him or getting close, but he has been very, very challenging as far as his reactivity to pressure goes. He's been very, very reactive to the saddle, reactive to any new thing. But as you can see, he's getting much better and more tolerant of pressure and more relaxed to that pressure, and that's going to make a big difference when I start to ride him soon in the next few days. So I wanted to tell a little story about a trainer that I met a couple years ago, and this trainer was talking about how his focus was not to put any pressure on the horse. And I know there are some trainers out there, and there's a line of thought out there that you want to avoid pressure on your horse, to avoid upsetting your horse. The problem with that is that if you avoid the problems, because they're going to exist, they're there underneath their skin, they're in their mind, it's going to happen. There's going to be a problem where they bolt, where they overreact to some kind of pressure, they bolt, buck, rear, what have you. So in order to be fair to them and fair to you, you have to teach them to tolerate pressure and to be relaxed with pressure. So no matter what they're feeling, they can handle that pressure. And some horses are more capable of handling high pressure than others. Like you have some horses that just aren't good roping horses because they get the rope around their hind end and they just blow up, and it's real hard to teach a horse to stop doing that. It can be done, but some horses just aren't naturally okay with that kind of pressure. And this trainer that wouldn't put any pressure on horses. So I would see him for months on end, months and months, doing the same exact few things on the ground with certain horses, and doing lessons with people. And I'm not saying that's bad or that's good. I mean, I'm sure everybody were enjoying the sessions, and there was nothing necessarily wrong with that. But if you want to progress and get to where your horse can handle high pressure situations, you can ride him in any situation. Ride him down the street, ride him along traffic, ride him on trails, ride him with a bicycle passing by or whatever, what have you. They need to learn, they need to be exposed to that. And that exposure should be in steps. So you start with light exposure and increase that exposure until it becomes heavy. So today, for Training Tip Tuesday, think about what kind of pressure your horse experiences. What kind of things set your horse off? What are those oh no zones, those oh no things that the horse says, oh no, I'm not gonna, I can't handle that, and they're out of there. If you find a situation like that, you need to help your horse work through that. If you don't, it's gonna come back to bite you in the end. Remember that in just a week and a half, we have our Obstacles and Trail Clinic, the Reata Horsemanship Obstacles and Trail Clinic. It's March 31st through April 2nd, 2023. So that's just in a week and a half. We do have a couple spots available. So I hope if you guys are interested in learning what I do to help my horses tolerate, help my horses respond to cues and tolerate pressure and become really soft, supple, safe partners for their owners, make sure to contact us and come to this clinic. It's going to be a lot of fun. We actually have a camel on the second day. We've got motorcycles, bicycles, and a lot of other obstacles that we're building right now that are going to be a lot of fun in that clinic. We're also going to ride out on the trail on the third day. So it's going to be 3 days of lots of learning, lots of fun. Hope to see you there. Until next time, be thankful, live with purpose, live with passion, and as always, stay safe in the saddle.